Herkese merhabalar. Langara College'nin webinarınıza katıldığınız için çok teşekkürler. Gregory şu an Vancouver'da kahvesinden bir yudum alıyor. Ben Onur Değertaş, kendi eğitim danışmanlığından katılıyorum. Langara College'da uzun yıllardır beraber çalışan bir eğitim danışmanlık firmasıyız. Ben de kendim Langara College mezunuyum. Langara College'i yüksek öğrenim kurumu, yani lise sonrası 1, 2, 3 ve bazı bölümlerde 4 senelik bölümleri olan ve çok geniş kapsamlı bir program yelpazesi olan bir kolej. Vancouver şehrinde dünya güzeli bir şehirdir. Dünyanın en yaşanılır şehirler listesinde en çok birinci olmuş şehir. Kendim 8 sene orada yaşadım. Langara College'da isterseniz diploma sertifika programları bitirip mezun olup çalışabilirsiniz. İsterseniz üniversitelere transfer olabilirsiniz. Kanada'nın bütün büyük üniversitelerine sınavsız direkt geçiş imkanı var ve üniversite transferinde çok büyük bir kolej ve şehrin çok güzel bir yerinde. Ne yazık ki Haziran'da başlamadı ama Eylül ayında Türk Hava Yolları'nın Vancouver'a direkt uçuşları da başlayacak. Kolejle ilgili uzun detaylı bir sunumu olacak Gregory'nin, ardından sorulara cevap vereceğiz. İngilizce de yazabilirsiniz, Türkçe de yazabilirsiniz. Ben iki dilde de cevaplandıracağım. Yani takıldığım yerlerde Gregory'e soracağım. Yes, the microphone is yours.
Thank you for the introduction, Onur. Good evening, everybody. I believe it's evening in Turkey. In Vancouver here, it's just after 8 a.m. in the morning, so we're all getting ready here to start our day, and you're already in the future. So, but anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and thank you for registering and joining the webinar. As I guess was introduced by Onur, my name is Gregory Pokorny, and I'm manager for international marketing at Langara College. And I'm responsible for quite a few markets, but including Turkey. It includes Eastern Europe, Eurasia, CIS countries, Middle East, Africa, as well as South Asia. So it's a pleasure to give this talk. I think this is my third Langara College webinar that I'm doing with IETF. And Onur he's going to join. He'll make some comments at the end and answer any questions and give his perspective, because he's a former Langara student himself, and he can give us some very good first insights about Langara. So we have about 45-minute time limit, so I'll just get into the presentation. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the facts about Canada and why studying at Langara, then move into the education plans, why Langara College or why college in general, CEA programs, what happens next, and then the application procedure. And then, as I said, we have some time at the end for some questions. So just briefly about Canada, I won't spend too much time because I think many people know, but Canada is a very large country. It's the second biggest country as far as land mass. We have a population of almost 38 million people. So relatively small population for the size of the land. And we have 10 provinces and 3 territories. And we are located here in British Columbia on the West Coast. So, I mean, it's a pretty large country going from east to west, but we're right here on the West Coast, right on the Pacific Ocean. So Canada itself, I mean, it does offer a very high quality of life. It's known as a very safe country. I mean, there is some crime, but there's crime in every country, but relatively a very safe country, and a lot of ethnocultural, multicultural diversity. So we have people from over 200 different parts of the world, ethnic origins. So very multicultural. And as far as the education is concerned, the quality of education across the country is quite standard and quite good and highly recognized. So it doesn't matter if you're studying East Coast or rural areas or urban areas, Ontario or other provinces, quality of education is quite good across Canada. Okay, so why Vancouver? This is just a picture of the skyline there in Vancouver. So as I mentioned, Vancouver is in British Columbia, and we're on the west coast of Canada. You can see here, down here at the very bottom, kind of the southwest corner. So we're right there, right on the ocean. You have this island here. It's actually called Vancouver Island, and the capital, Victoria, is on that island. Vancouver is the third largest metropolitan area in Canada. The largest city is Toronto. Second largest is Montreal. For the whole regional population of the greater Vancouver area, you're looking at around 5 million people. I mean, Vancouver itself is probably around 1 million, but just all the surrounding suburb cities and everything, you're looking at 5 million people. Median age is 42, and unemployment, this is kind of the stats before COVID, okay? So it's usually between 4 and 5%, but as you can well imagine, with the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of businesses have shut down, so now the unemployment is around 13%. But just some pictures here of the city, Stanley Park, downtown by the Gastown is the steam clock. And yeah, so now, I mean, if we're talking about the education in Canada, Canadian education is kind of divided is very provincial. So if you see this diagram here, you can see that all these kind of circles at the top, these are the provinces. So basically BC is in this middle column where, you know, there's 12 years of, you know, elementary, secondary school. And then when you get into the green part past secondary school, you're looking at associate degrees, you're looking at apprenticeship or vocational training, college diploma, then moving to bachelor's, and then higher diplomas like master's and doctorate. So we're in this kind of second column here. Now the education in B specifically, so university is, you know, we consider the bachelor's degree a 4-year degree, and the associate degree is also a recognized degree. It's 2 years. And you can see here, you can do this associate degree, and then you can get the credential. But in British Columbia, there's a transfer system in place. So all the courses that you're doing in your associate degree, those are fully transferable to the bigger university. So after those 2 years at Langara or, you know, another college, you could use those courses to get credit for those courses and then transfer to the bigger university. So then you're completing year 3, year 4. So that's why it's like 2 years, 2 years, 2 plus 2. And then you get your bachelor's degree. So it's a good way, the associate degree university transfer is a good pathway for students to get their 4-year bachelor's degree. We also have the certificate and diploma, career diploma, and then you get that degree, and then you can get a job and start earning money. And then we get into the post degree, and post degree is usually 1 or 2 years, but post degree certificate, post certificate is 1 year, 2 years is the post degree diploma. Now, many people will email me or ask me and say, hey, I want to do a master's at your school. I want to do a PhD or post PhD. Those cannot be done at Langara. The reason being, in Canada, master's degree, PhD, postdoc, these are administered by universities in Canada. So Langara College is a community college. We are not a university, so we do not administer these type of degrees. So you cannot do a master's at Langara. You cannot do PhD or postdoc. You can do a post-degree diploma. That is like the college version of a master's, but we cannot call it a master's. It is a higher degree, but it is not a master's. It's not a PhD. So if you're looking for master's, PhD, post PhD, my recommendation, my advice is seek out the universities in Canada. They're the ones who will have those type of programs, higher programs. Okay, so why college? So there's a few reasons here. Excuse me. So there's a few reasons here why college could be good. So sometimes students come out of high school and they're a little bit undecided or indecisive. They're not sure what they want to do. So they can come to a college like Langara where maybe they're not decided on their major, or they're not sure what they want to focus on. So the college will give them those kind of flexible options. They can try this course, try another course. Okay, I like this one, or I don't like this one. And then they can find out what they like to do and then focus on that. Another advantage is adaptability. Students are able to adapt quite well at a college like Langara because we do have small class sizes. As I said, we're not a big university. We don't have like 200 or 300 students in a lecture hall. for a size of a class. We keep the class sizes 40 students or less. As far as grades are concerned, we do look at grades, but they're not going to be the end all or be all of everything. So we kind of work on a policy of open access. Requirements may be a little bit lower. You do have to study hard when you're at Langara, because if you do want to transfer to the bigger university, then you're going to have to meet those university requirements. So the students do study hard, but to get into Langara, it's more of an open access. Course load, this refers to like when you come to Canada, you do have a study permit and you do have to maintain full-time student status. That may be, in Langara's case, 3 courses a week. So you do have time to work, you have time to take part in activities or clubs or sports or working off campus 20 hours a week, like that. And finally, the investment. The tuition fees are more affordable, and I'll get into that in the next slide. So this slide shows the annual tuition comparison for the business program, and this is based on 30 credits or 10 courses, and for the fall, for the fees for the fall. So if a student wants to go to UBC, University of British Columbia, and study business, their first year as an international student will cost them $51,000. Simon Fraser, another big university in the greater Vancouver area, it will cost $33,000. University of Victoria is the 3rd biggest university in British Columbia, $24,000. If you come to Langara and you do the same business courses that are going to transfer anyway, in that case, you're looking at $18,000. So quite a bit of savings. So if you're doing 2 years at Langara before you transfer to UBC or before you transfer to Simon Fraser, and I think Owner can talk about his experience later, because he went to Langara and then he transferred, I believe, to York University. Of course, when he transferred
Correct.
to York University, he had to pay those York University tuition fees. But before that, when he did his education at Langara, he paid the Langara tuition fees. That's correct, right, Owner?
Yes, transferring there, I had to provide some course subscriptions. Within the same province, it's easier, like UBC, SFU, UVic, these universities on the screen. But it wasn't so difficult there. And I, of course, paid Langara fees first, and then York fees. Langara was much less.
Yeah, and I believe, like as you mentioned, like it is much easier in British Columbia because of the BC transfer system. And then I think with the out of province, like York University, U of T, or any big university outside of BC, you just have to check directly with that school. And then, of course, supply probably your transcript, course descriptions, syllabus, and everything like that.
It was easy. No problem at all. Very easy.
Okay. Thanks, Owner. Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. Okay, so moving on, Langara is a public community college. That means government funded. That means you're automatically eligible for the PGWP, Postgraduate Work Permit program. So a lot of students do want to use this as a way to, get their education in Canada. And then after that, then they can apply for the postgraduate work permit. Being a public college as well, you're able, as I mentioned, you're able to work part-time during your study, during your semester. You can work up to 20 hours a week during the semesters, and during semester break, you're able to work full-time. So Langara is a public community college, as I mentioned. We're located in the heart of Vancouver, and we have this kind of slogan or tagline: "Start here, go anywhere." And this kind of map of the city, you can see here. The previous slide. This is the downtown. Okay, so this kind of here, you see the mountains in the background. That's the North Shore Mountains. You have the Burrard the inlet, and then you have the ocean over here, and then that's what you're looking at when you're looking down here. And all these kind of lines are this kind of transportation lines. So you have the West Coast Express, you have the SkyTrain, and here you're at the bottom, you have the Vancouver International Airport, you have downtown, and you have Langara, very centrally located. We are an 18-minute SkyTrain ride from downtown. You can see University of British Columbia over here to the, to the west of Langara, and then you have Simon Fraser University in Burnaby. And you're a short distance to downtown, about 18, 20 minutes to Vancouver Airport. So students are living in Vancouver, students are living in Burnaby, they're living in Richmond, they're living downtown, they're living out in Surrey, and then they can get to Langara quite easily. Okay, so the student profile, this is a snapshot of the during any given semester. And, you know, basically for Canadian domestic students, around 11,000 students. International students, about half that, so 5,000 international students hailing from over 90 countries. So these are just some notable numbers. As I showed you just a slide before, 90 plus countries, so 93 countries there. Annual enrollment, 23,000. And the main thing I want to show with this slide is just showing the bottom part. This is from a survey that students fill out. And 92% were satisfied with their Langara education, 96% satisfied with the quality of instruction, and the one important one there, 83% successfully transferred. So that's what a lot of the students are doing, and that, as owner just mentioned his experience in transferring to York University, he's one of these, you know, like this, he'd be like one of the 83% who successfully transferred.
It was very easy to transfer. Like, I didn't have to have very high marks.
Yeah, like, I mean,
not like 90.
It does depend on the program and what school you're transferring to. But, you know, it's like you said, it's quite straightforward.
Yes, as long as you study okay. You don't have to be like a genius with 95%. It was okay. It was easy. Çok kolay geçmek.
If you are a genius with 95%, it does help you though too.
Yes, but not me. Yeah. Not me, but I am sure there are people who are watching.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so just some pictures here, and I think you know, we'll talk about this in the question period, but many students are wondering about the weather, and this slide kind of shows the different seasons, spring, summer, winter. Langara, I mean, Vancouver does get snow, and you can see the picture there on the right of the screen. But just to talk a little bit about the weather, I mean, Vancouver's weather is probably the mildest weather during the winter in the whole of Canada. So yes, we do get snow, but the snow does not usually last very long. And you're looking at average temperatures between 0 and 5 degrees during the winter, so maybe 3 degrees Celsius. Now you may be sitting there wondering, yeah, that's cold. But when the rest of the country is at the same time, the rest of Canada may be sitting at -10, -15, or -20 for extended periods of time with a lot of snow, then 3 degrees sounds quite good. So yeah, it's all relative, but yeah, we do get some snow, and it is pretty when it does snow, but it doesn't usually last very long. And there's some pictures of the building. This is the newest building. It's called the P building, technology building. This is the building that houses all the science courses. So the biology, chemistry, nursing, kinesiology, health science courses like that. And now going back to the weather, one point that I have to make is, since we don't get much snow, and maybe owner can attest to this, but since we don't get much snow, we get a lot of rain, and rain. Students walking with the umbrella. So in the winter, like especially November, December, January, because it's a little bit milder, and you know, we won't get the snow, but instead of snow, we do get rain. So I do have to kind of point that out because it is a reality, and but it's not, as I said, it's not that cold. So.
But that's why it's so green. It's okay. It's very green.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, so just the Langara College campus map. That was the T building I just showed you previous couple slides ago, the newest building. You have the library, gymnasium, A building, B building, C building, Langara Student Union. It's quite a big campus. It takes a couple city blocks. Behind there's a golf course. So it's a standalone campus. You're not just in an office building. You know, as I said from that previous slide, you are about a 5 to 7 minute walk from the SkyTrain station. So the SkyTrain station is called Langara 49th. You get off at that station, you walk 5 to 7 minutes, and you're there on the campus. So yeah, so that just shows there's cafeteria, coffee shops. There is a medical clinic on campus with a doctor and nurse. So in case you do feel, need some medical attention or need to see a doctor, there is a medical clinic also on campus. So this picture is showing this is showing the front of the library there. So, and this is just a quick story. This is the kind of a statue that was donated to Langara by the Musqueam people. And it's hard to understand this a little bit, but Langara, where Langara is situated, it's on a Musqueam, what was formerly a Musqueam village. And Musqueam is the indigenous people. And Langara decided to ask the Musqueam people to give Langara a Musqueam name in their language. And that's this name that you see at the bottom. It's pronounced Snowayat Lelam, and it means kind of house of learning. And it kind of goes with the English slogan, which is College of Higher Learning. So Langara decided to co-brand the college. So we actually do have two official names. We have the Langara College and we have the Snowayat Lelam that the Musqueam people gave to Langara. And that's why it's on the presentation, because it's co-branded officially. It's on my business card. And once the college officially co-branded itself that, then they made this kind of totem or the statue. It's handmade. It's quite big. And it's kind of landmark on the campus. So just a quick backstory about that. So yeah, there's when it does snow, there's the snow accumulating a little bit, and then probably in a couple of days after that, it's gone. So yeah. Okay, so just some pictures of the facilities: science lab, computer lab, lots of computer labs on campus. Lecture hall. This would probably be the biggest lecture hall. It would hold probably 70 to 80 students. But as I said, this is like only a couple courses that have that many students. Okay, I'm just moving on here to the Co-op and Career Development Center. This is a very important center on campus because a lot of the Langara programs have co-op, and they do have a co-op term or in the course. So this kind of center, it does have students can go there, and they do have an online job board just for Langara students, workshops, career fairs. If you see the next slide here, you can see like they do a lot of career coaching, resume review, interview skills practice, because, getting it, how you set your resume in Turkey or another country, or how you do an interview is quite different. I mean, the work culture is different. So this kind of career development co-op and career development center kind of helps the student kind of navigate and kind of, prepare their resume, prepare for interviews, career events, networking, morning mingles, and so on like that. And, as far as the courses, they do have some, have mandatory co-op, or their full-time paid work in the area of studies. And it usually goes for about 16 weeks, 4 months. And you get to apply to gain knowledge, and you develop your professional skills. You do have to submit a work term report, and you are able to still do your 20 hours of part-time work while you're doing your studies. So do you have any comment about the Co-op and Career Development Center owner? Did you go to the center or use it?
I haven't done co-op. I actually was a citizen, so Canadian citizen, and usually I think for us there was not much of this, right. But I did a very complete university transfer program and didn't have a co-op program in it.
Right. Okay.
So I think you don't, right? When it's a very specific university transfer.
Yeah, most of those, I mean, if it's, some diploma programs do have co-op, but, it's not just if your program doesn't have co-op, I mean, you can still use this center, right? Because it just helps with, networking or developing your resume, your interview skills, and so on. So, yeah. Okay, so Langara does give a lot of support to the students. I mean, this slide just shows, I mean, if you need some tutoring help, maybe have some trouble understanding some concepts in your class, writing help, because, some courses you do have to write research essays and proper essay papers. Research help, IT, of course, if you need some help with IT, there's study spaces that you can reserve and book, and then also workshops on how to improve your study skills. So a lot of support for the students. So this is showing, I mean, we do have, as I said, we have the students from over 90 countries, and this map just showing that. A lot of cultural events. Because we have students from all over the world, they do have a lot of cultural events. This is just showing the Chinese or the Lunar New Year, the performance. We also have for Diwali, for Persian New Year, and Brazilian different celebration and so on. So a lot of cultural events because it's a multicultural student body, so you can learn from each other as well.
Gregory, just to interrupt, what you asked me about the career department, many of my friends went and they got lots of help with like how to write a resume, how to find a job, but I used the math center and the English writing center a lot, and it was free and they helped quite a lot for all students, domestic and international.
Yeah, so
it's
this
quite a big help.
Yeah, so this writing tutoring center, I mean, that's I believe it's in the part of the library, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's open for the students. The tutors are there all day, and you just book an appointment, and then you can see them. And, hey, I need some help in my economics class or whatever subject you're taking. So, or for writing a paper or something. So, like you utilized it. A lot of students utilized it.
Sure. It helps a lot and free, totally free.
Yep. Well, it's we'll just say it's paid with your tuition, right? So.
Exactly. You're right. Yes, correct.
Okay, a lot of clubs. I think there's over 45 clubs on campus. You can join a club, meet new people, get involved, start a new club. So it just makes you feel part of the college student body. We do have sports. Langara is part of the college sports league. So basketball, football, soccer, male, female, and also I think the other one is badminton. If you are really good at these sports and you're on a team and you're interested in playing for the Langara team, please get in touch with me and I can put you in contact with the athletic director, because there are some spots for international students on these teams, and there's some discount for tuition. But of course, these are student athletes. I mean, they're not just playing sports; they are also studying as well. So, but there is some kind of help. So if you are inclined in this and very good at these sports, you can contact me and I can put you in touch with the athletic director. Okay, so let's turn our attention to the actual Langara programs. We have university transfer, and we have career diplomas, post-degree diploma, LEAP, as part of continuing studies. So I'll talk a little bit about all these. So university transfer, this is what we talked about for what Onur did when he went to York University, but this is what almost half of the students at Langara are doing. And they will start at Langara and then they will transfer to the bigger university. So you can see the slide, the pie graph there, 45% of the students doing this. And this report here in 2015, we don't have the most recent one, but Langara to the 6 universities, the 6 biggest universities in British Columbia, Langara transferred over 4,400 students to those universities, and almost half of those just to UBC. UBC, if you don't know, is the 2nd largest university in Canada. It's world ranked. I believe it's ranked in the top 40 universities in the world. So, and it's very not too far from Langara. So this is where students will want to come to Langara, and then they want to, maybe if they want to do that pathway, they want to go to UBC. So these university transfer programs are open enrollment, regular studies. You start at Langara and you transfer credits to complete the degree at the university, like Onur did, but he went to outside the province. Your largest transfer institution to UBC, as I mentioned. And these are just some of the transfer programs. These are not all of them, but you have everything from humanities, social sciences, science, and so on. Career programs. These are more limited enrollment programs, and they have more program-specific requirements, practical education, more hands-on learning. And usually these are like 2-year diplomas. And we have these in a wide variety, animation, kinesiology, photography, all the business courses, and so on. Post-degree programs. I talked a little bit about this earlier, and these are limited enrollment. The main requirement is you do need an undergraduate degree. So if you've done an undergraduate degree in Turkey, you've done a bachelor's degree, then you want to get a higher degree, you can go into this post-degree diploma, and you do get some work experience. There's a 4-month work term, and it's best to apply early because these courses do fill up and there's limited seats. And these are back here, sorry. These are the 10 PDD programs, business admin, marketing management, accounting, data analytics, web and mobile app. We have two streams there, design and development. Also applied planning, logistics, health, safety, environmental, and then nursing practice in Canada. Okay, LEAP program. This is Langara's EAP. Now, Langara does have a English proficiency requirement, and usually for IELTS is 6.5, no bands below 6. And we do now accept Duolingo, but some students don't meet those requirements, and they can still come to Langara and take English EAP and then transfer into regular studies program once their English is upgraded. So most of the students, I mean, we get a lot from Asia, like Vietnam, China, Japan, Korea, but you can see there the list of countries of students that were now doing the LEAP. I'll just touch briefly about the Center for Entertainment Arts, Langara. This is CEA. This is a branch campus, and this campus is focusing on the animation. So if you're into or interested, I believe that CA just did a webinar on the IEFT Talks, but just touch on this briefly. Advanced 3D animation, advanced visual effects, advanced game design, advanced game technology. The main thing is these are 2-year diploma programs. They're very high demand because there's a big booming industry in Vancouver for these type of animation studios. And you are eligible for the 3-year postgraduate work permit as well. The main thing, though, requirement is you do need a portfolio. So you do have to be interested in doing this kind of work already. So you do need a portfolio to be eligible. These are just some of the partners that they work with, and then of course, the big companies that are hiring the graduates from those animation programs. Okay, just touch about what happens next. So let's say you come to Langara and you study, you get your degree, or you transfer. And this is just showing some of the high demand occupations in the greater Vancouver area. This is not all of them, but everything from business, accounting, software engineering, computer programming, advertising, web design, and so on. And just looking at some statistics, trends for the future, this is the labor market outlook for the next 10 years. This map of BC is showing that in the Lower Mainland, in the Vancouver area, over 500,000 jobs available in this job openings. So basically, in the 10-year period from 2019 to 2029, it's predicted that 861,000 job openings in British Columbia. 69% of those are replacement, and 31% economic growth. And you can see that young people will be filling the demand, immigrants, migrants from other countries, and so on. The occupation for these jobs, sales, business, management, trades, education, and so on, all the way down. And this is an important slide because from these 861,000 predicted jobs, you do need some credential. So you can see, like, if you have a diploma or a certificate, those will make up 41%. You have a bachelor's degree, or if you get a professional degree, that's another 36%. So right there, you're looking at, of those 800,000 jobs, 76% of those you need to have some kind of credential, some kind of diploma, or some kind of degree. If you have just high school or less, those jobs are not going to be available to you. Okay, so finally, I'm just getting into the last part of the presentation, application procedure. You do need to submit proof of graduation and submit official transcript. How we submit official transcript is if you have your transcript from Turkey, we need a scanned, full color scan of the transcript, and it has to be a scan in full color, and it has to be in PDF format. You cannot just take a picture with your cell phone with your thumb in the picture and then submit that. It's not going to be accepted. So it does have to be a scan in full color in PDF format. If the transcript is in Turkish, we need the Turkish transcript, and we need a notarized English translation. English proficiency, we include IELTS, TOEFL. IELTS has to be academic, not general, and TOEFL and Duolingo we accept as well. And then other additional requirements could be, depending on the program, you may need a letter of intent, you may need to do an interview, portfolio review, and so on. So once the documents are submitted to the online application portal, if it's doing LEAP, you do a PDF application, but looking at 4 to 6 weeks. But right now we're looking at 1 to 2 weeks because they're quite caught up. Email offer is issued, and then once the student accepts that, they pay initial tuition deposit of $6,000. And then once the $6,000 is received, then the official letter of acceptance is issued. And then the student applies for the Canada study visa from their home country. Okay, so finally, just the last slide here about why Langara. I've talked a little bit about all these, about being a public institution, great location, centrally located, largest university transfer program in BC, the small class sizes, lower tuition. We have diploma, we have UT, we have certificate programs, post-degree programs, career-focused, and LEAP. And then, as I said, because we're a public institution, you're able to work off campus and automatically eligible for the postgraduate work permit. So I thank you for your attention. And I think we can just open up, I think maybe if owner wants to add anything, or if you want to type in questions, or I'm not sure how we're going to do the question and answer, but yeah, so thank you for your attention. And yeah, we'll just open up for some discussion.
I have answered some questions, but I will go over all of them with you quickly. Thank you for the presentation. Some people asked if we're going to do the presentation in Turkish also. I said no, but I will give a very brief overview, like within a minute.
Yeah, and I think what we can do after is we did last time. I will be sending this the presentation slide to the everybody who registered. I'll send that, and then maybe like you did last time, owner, you can send a brief email in Turkish.
Yes, correct. Okay, I'll explain. Bu sunumla ilgili detaylıca yine bir bilgi size e-mail ile gönderebilirim. Sunumu gönderecek bana Gregory. Ardından hepinizle iletişim kurabilirim e-mail listenizi aldıktan sonra. Ama genel olarak bu bir yüksek öğrenim kurumu. Başta dediğim gibi 1, 2, 3 ve 4 senelik bölümleri var. Üniversiteye geçiş mümkün. Çok büyük bir kolej. Üniversite geçişinde, transferinde çok büyük. İsterseniz 1 sene, 2 senelik program bitirip çalışmanız da mümkün. Güçlü bir co-op programları var. Ve şehirde de güzel bir yerde. So I'll go over the questions quickly. How many of we can answer? From the bottom. 1 yıllık eğitimden sonra devlet üniversitesine geçsem işlemler nasıl olacak? Tamamen sektöre yönelik bir eğitim mi veriliyor? Akademik planım yok. Öncelikle eğitim alıp devam geçiş yapacağım. Kabul edilen. What is the language proficiency level that you accept? They're asking. 1. Like IELTS, TOEFL. Like what level? IELTS 6, right? 6 or 6.5?
Yeah, for undergrad, for the UT and undergraduate and most of the diploma courses, 6.5. Overall, no bands below 6. So some courses like journalism needs a 7.0, so a little bit higher. But most of I think we can be safe and just tell them 6.5, no bands below 6. But as I said, if you don't meet that, then you could start with LEAP.
Or they could do TOEFL or now Duolingo as well, I think.
Okay. Duolingo is 110, and TOEFL, I believe, is 80.
TOEFL'da 80, IELTS'te 6.5 çok dil gerektiren mesela gazetecilik bölümlerde 7 olabilir. Hiçbir bölüm 6'dan düşük olmaması gerekiyor. Duolingo'da 110'a denk geliyor. Bir online bir sınav o. Bir yıllık eğitimden sonra devlet üniversitesine geçmek. He's asking how we can transfer after 1 year of education at Langara. It's possible, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
you need minimum to do the transfer is 8 courses. So usually that's 24 credits, and it would depend on what program he's transferring to at what university, what program, because some programs you can do after 1 year, you can transfer. Some you need to do 2 years and then you transfer. So, but you do need minimum eight courses. You cannot just do 1 course at Langara and then transfer. It doesn't make sense, right? So it has to be
exactly.
8 courses.
I'll explain in Turkish too. 8 ders minimum almanız gerekiyor. 24 krediye denk geliyor bu. Bazı üniversiteler, bazı bölümler sadece 1 sene okuduğunuzda kabul etmeyebilir. 2 sene gerekebilir. Gitmek istediğiniz üniversitede bölüm önemli, program önemli. Oraya baştan sormak, araştırmak gerekir. Yani mesela biz bu konuda yardımcı oluyoruz. Önceden araştırıyoruz. Önceden gideceğiniz yeri biliyoruz örneğin. Ona göre geçebilirsiniz diyor. Onun dışında he's asking also if you give a practical education or very academic, like I think it's a mix of both. It's not just
Yeah, it's quite a mix, but it's a more leaning toward, of course, like some courses, it is very academic, because if you're doing the transfer, you have to, if you're transferring to university, those first year and second year courses could be kind of academic, more academic based, but depending on the program, like especially post-degree diplomas or career diploma, they're more hands-on, they're more practical, and you're doing a work term as well. So it's not so academic based. It's not like just writing papers or doing all theory. It's more practical education.
Programa göre değişebiliyor. Mesela co-op'lu olan bölümlerde daha çok pratik eğitim var ve son dönem örneğin iş deneyimi diyor. Ama üniversiteye transfer olacağınız zaman örneğin doğal olarak derslerin akademik ağırlıklı olması lazım, ama genel olarak ikisinin karışımı diyor. One student is in electronics engineering second year and he wants to transfer to Langara. I guess he can just transfer maybe possibly to second year, or
so in this case he's done 1 year of electrical engineering in Turkey, probably.
He says he is in that right now, so I guess it's summertime. Okay. So I don't know if he finished.
So basically you can Langara does have international credit transfer. So the student can, if the student contacts me, like sends me an email, I can send them the credit transfer form. But basically they can, they have to put their, they have to submit the course syllabus and outline what courses they've done and they could get some credit transfer, but it's really difficult because especially for engineering courses from overseas, it takes some time to evaluate. And because when you're coming to Langara for engineering, it's a 1 year transfer. So basically it's going to be really difficult because normally engineering students, they have to do 1 year and then they transfer into second year of engineering at say UBC or SFU or whatever.
Oh, so it's 1 plus 3.
1 plus 3. It's not because there's so many different areas of engineering, right? But the first year of engineering is very generic. They all take the same, they have to take 3 maths, chemistry, math, or physics, and all that. But for after that, then they branch into electrical or mechanical or computer or whatever, civil engineering. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be really hard for engineering.
Yeah. I understand. Genelde 1 sene mühendislik okuyup sonraki 3 sene üniversitede okuyor kişiler. Çünkü ilk 1 senesi çok genel konular. Ardından 2. senede, Kanada'da öyle, elektronik, makine, inşaat mühendisliği hepsi 2. seneden ayrılıyor. Türkiye'den transfer etmek çok zor ama genel olarak bilgi vereyim. Bir okula başvurulduktan, kabul edildikten sonra kredi transferine başvurabiliyorsunuz. Ne kadar kredinizi kabul ederler belli değil. I also told them they can't do this in advance before getting accepted. They have to get accepted to the program and then they can apply, but there's not much chance with engineering specifically.
No.
In general, it's possible. 3D animation for games, film, visual effects. One student is interested.
So that would be. So as I talked in the one slide there about CEA, they do have the advanced diploma in 3D or game technology, game design. So if he has a portfolio, that's the main requirement. But yeah, it's if he just sends me an email, I can send him more information, specific information about those programs.
Bu 3D animasyon, işte oyun dizaynı vesaire, görsel efektler isteyen kişi için portfolyo çok önemli. Bana e-mail yollarsa ben detaylı bilgi verebilirim demiş. A few questions came up with scholarship. There is no scholarship as far as I know, entrance scholarship.
Yeah, for entrance, I mean, there are scholarships for the academic, for the current Langara students based on merit. There's a lot of them, but for entrance scholarships to get in, I mean, it's not something that a lot of Canadian schools do. I mean, some do, but we don't really have many as far as, because already the tuition is much lower than, you know, if you get a $5,000 scholarship from SFU or UBC, you're still paying more money than you would pay at Langara. So yeah, there's just not much in the way of entrance scholarships.
Genel olarak söyleyeyim size, girişte herhangi bir burs yok ve kolejlerde hiç duyduğum bir şey değil. Bu çok az burs veren, indirim yapan olanlar olabiliyor. Genel olarak zaten diyor, bir üniversiteden burs alıp 3-4 bin, 5 bin dolar indirse bile koleje, bize Langara'ya geldiğinde ödeyeceği paranın 2 katına varıyor neredeyse. Yok. Fakat okula başladıktan sonra akademik olarak başarılıysanız o zaman bir sürü burs başvurusu imkanı var. Başvurabilirsiniz diyor. So I explained, well, once they come in, if they are academically successful, they can apply to quite a few.
Yeah, and
I translated everything.
Yeah, they're basically available every semester in all the different departments, and they usually range, I think, $1,500 to $2,000 for each scholarship. So yeah, and a lot of students do take advantage of this and do get the academic scholarships.
1500 ile 2000 dolar arasında bir sürü bu burs var diyor. Bir sürü öğrenci alıyor diyor. Olabilir. One student asked about work permit. I just said he can work part-time during college, but he has to start college first. Once he finishes, he can get a postgraduate work permit for 1 year or 3 years.
Yeah, so during the studies, during the semester, as I mentioned, they can work 20 hours a week. And then during the semester break, let's say they take the summer semester off, then they can work full time. And then as a public institution, you're automatically, as soon as you if you earn your associate degree or your post-degree diploma, then you're eligible for the 3-year post-grad work permit.
Sunumda da açıkladı. Okuldayken haftada 20 saat çalışma izni var. Bitirdikten sonra bir sene okursanız, 2 senelik bölüm okursanız 3 senelik full time çalışma izni var. Bir de tatillerde, Noel'de, yaz tatilinde full time çalışma izniniz var okul sırasında da. Someone is finishing university, 4th year. She's asking if it's a problem. I said no, you can finish your 4 years of university and you can come into a post-secondary or postgraduate program. Post-degree. Or she can also do a post-secondary, she can do any program, right? If she
can apply. Like, I mean, the only thing is, I always tell this kind of thing, like, she can apply to like any kind of program, but when you're applying for the visa, you know, usually the visa officers want to see progression in your studies. So if you already got a bachelor's degree and then you're applying to, Langara College for associate degree, that's a kind of lower degree. So it's not, she's already got a bachelor's degree, so it's not showing much progression, right? So, usually it's like bachelor's degree, then you can apply to post degree, or then you can apply to university for master's, like that. Or you could make a parallel move and say, hey, I did this bachelor's degree in business, but now I want to do a diploma program in, I don't know, like journalism or something. I'm interested in writing or something. Then you have to kind of state your case, why you're changing or why you're doing. But normally, Langara doesn't care what program you apply to, but I just give this advice about because it does matter when you apply for the visa. They want to see progression in your studies. In her case, bachelor's degree, then she probably apply to like a post-degree diploma.
2 tane farklı akreditasyon var. Birisi lise mezunlarının girebildiği post-secondary, birisi post-graduate. Üniversite mezunuysanız vize başvurunuzda üniversite mezunu birisi sadece liselilerin de girebildiği bölüme başladığında eğitimde bir ilerleme görmediği için vize başvurusunda sorun olabilir. Ama diyor birisi mühendistir, örnek veriyorum. Mesela gazetecilik okumak istedi, yeni bir şey öğrenmek istedi, onu açıklaması gerekir diyor. Yani kişiye göre değişebilir diyor, başvuruya göre bu. Ama genel olarak eğitimde ilerleme inandırıcı oluyor diyor vize başvurusunda. Duolingo, someone asked, you said 110. Mobile development, web, mobile, doesn't matter. 110 for this one as well, right? 110.
Gregory, Onur, sorry for interrupting.
No
we
problem.
are running out of our time, so we need to...
Okay.
That was a sweet interruption.
And you can stay on the system and answer the questions as written on the chat box if you wish.
Who can?
You can stay on the system. We will close our system, but you can stay on the system and you can answer the questions as written on the chat box.
Okay.
All right?
So I stay, Gregory goes? Gregory stays too?
You both.
Okay, so...
Sure.
Just they cannot hear you, they cannot see you, so...
They cannot hear me. Okay, so it's okay. Just give us 1 minute. Sorularınız daha fazla olursa lütfen iletişim kurun benimle veya Gregory ile. Cevap verebiliriz. I said if they have questions from now on, they can contact you or me.
Yes, if you share your email address on the chat box, they can also contact you personally.
Gregory, I'm writing my email. You're writing yours too, maybe?
Yeah, but I somehow my screen is frozen here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It was great. What was your email address? Just 1 second.
Yeah, so just GPOK ORNY.
I'm just writing that.
Yeah.
1 second. I had it saved, so yes, I wrote it.
Okay.
You got it? Yes. gpokorny@langara.ca.
Yep.
Okay. Herkese teşekkürler. İletişim halinde kalabiliriz. Thank you.
The great presentation and very detailed one. So see you soon again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Gregory.
Bye.
Bye-bye.